many.
Okay, I'm just gonna record from here so that we can share these.
This is
The Motivation Manifesto. Who's that one by?
that's the guy, the Brendan.
Oh, that one looks nice. That's a good copy.
I know.
Yeah, I got it with your
So
Amazon
pretty.
gift card, so thank you very much.
Girl. Nice, paying that forward.
Yeah.
Manifesto. Yeah, I got sorry, I'm just gonna write Brennan Bouchard. Yeah, I got some sweet ones lately. So this is my stuff. I'll just hold it up for right now. So I'm gonna read Shit Your Ego Says next, and then The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And then this one is supposed to be so funny. I'll read you guys the back of it. Okay, it's called
Oh my
Furiously
God.
Happy.
Oh my God.
This is the back, okay? In Furiously Happy, the #1 New York Times bestselling author Jenny Lawson explores her lifelong battle with mental illness. A hysterical, ridiculous book about crippling depression and anxiety? That sounds like a terrible idea, but terrible ideas are what Jenny does best. And it's just like talking about how she's like, some of my most favorite people are dangerously fucked up and they just have learned to, and she says they've gotten better at, and then she crosses off hiding and they've gotten better at it. And I'm just, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And then I got,
so good.
Goddess Revolution, which I'm pumped to read.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's supposed to be really good too. Jen Sincero notes this one in her book, and I've heard it a few other times, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It's supposed to be super good. So, and that's just a little one. So yeah, we got some new books for the library. What's going on, girls?
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Oh, stop. Sorry, that would be dogs because they think somebody's here when I say hello.
That's okay.
Bella, enough. I'll mute.
Well, I'm pumped that we have a sweet little crew going on. I actually didn't know if anybody was going to be on tonight because I kind of forgot to post about it, and then, yeah, it was a little bit late. So.
I totally
might,
forgot, honestly, but
should I give it a minute?
you could. I'm fine.
Or should I just go? Should I just
Not
do
in
it?
a rush.
I'm stoked for April. It feels like this month is going to be like what January should have been. Does that make sense?
Did you read that thing
No,
that
I haven't had a chance.
Moon energy. Like seriously, I was laying in bed last night at like 8:30 because I was like, I'm so exhausted, I just need to sleep. And then my sister texted me and she sent it to me, and I was like, there's got to be something going on with like the moon or the energy or something, because like 8:30, and I'm like, see you later, I'm going to bed, like I can't function anymore. But then my days are just like
psychotic.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah.
So, but no, read that. It's super cool. Like just with, I know you've like been into moon stuff too. But.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's crazy. Like every single time, sorry, I'll totally start the topic after this, but every time before we even speak about moon stuff, I'll be having a day or a night where I'm just like, man, like there's gotta be a full moon or a new moon or something, because I am like effed up or like so tired or feel like I'm going through some kind of like weird, like kind of transformation stuff. And every single time without fail, it's like, oh yeah, there was a new moon last night. Oh yeah, there was a full moon tonight. Like every single time without fail. It's never like, oh, there's nothing with the moon tonight. Like every time I notice it, that's what it is, which is crazy. Okay, I'm going to start because I don't want to take too much of yours this time, and I'm also wildly exhausted because teaching is sucking my soul out of my body, but anyways, that's a different story. Hang in there, right? This is why teachers drink, because it's hard. It's a hard job. Okay, so I wanted to do a call tonight. I'm actually really excited about it, even though my prep is kind of all over the place. I wanted to do a call tonight, and I changed the name. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I changed it from Fake It Till You Make It to Faith It Till You Make It. And I did so because I was reading something this morning in my book. I'm reading The One Thing right now by Jay Papasan and Gary Keller. Super good. I highly recommend that book. And Gary Keller, one of the authors, he was talking about basically faith it till you make it. And he was talking about the difference between coasting and then the person that coasts and the person that takes accountability. And on the scale over time, the person that takes accountability breaks through that ceiling, that barrier, whereas the person that coasts and tries something until they hit the ceiling, and then they try something new. Try something, hit the ceiling, and then they fall. And they never actually hit that past their ceiling or their like ceiling of potential, I guess. But the person that takes accountability and responsibility for what they're doing, and they go no matter what, and they ask the right questions, and they say, yep, it doesn't matter what kind of obstacles are in my way, I'm going to do this no matter what. This is what's happening. This is what I do now. They actually plunge past that ceiling of potential, and they're the ones that end up with success. And he was like, it's not like any there's no real secret to people becoming wildly successful or millionaires or like leading these epic lives. It's just that they never gave up, and they were the ones that took accountable for their actions and went, instead of giving up and trying over again constantly. So that was where I changed it to faith it till you make it, because essentially that's what this is. And I've been coming across it a lot lately with, oh, you want to say something? Yeah, go for it.
Book called? Sorry.
Oh, The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. It's yellow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. What did I say? I was going to say something.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm so squirrely brained. Crap. What did I start with?
You were just talking about what, like faith it till you make it, and why you changed it to faith it till you make it.
Right. Okay. I changed it to faith it till you make it instead of fake it till you make it, because you're not faking anything. You know, you need to dive into full on belief in yourself as a coach, full on belief in this company and the mission, full on belief in the programs and products, because it will not work otherwise. And I've talked to some people lately who, you know what, I'm gonna mute so I don't get, I forgot to do that. And then you guys can just put it in the chat if you want. Oh, continue. Okay, sweet. Can you guys hear me good? Cool. Yeah, I've just been hearing a lot from different coaches on our team and stuff lately that they're like, oh, like I'm just not really sure if I can. I don't know if I can pass Emerald. I don't know if I can hit Diamond in a month. I don't know if I can do Success Club every month. I don't know if I can do these things. And my response continuously is, if you do not think you can do it, you can't. You have to believe that you can hit it before you can hit it. And so the point of this call, essentially, I'm going to come back to it a bunch of times, but you have to believe it will happen before it happens. And that's the whole thing with faith, right? Faith is believing in the unseen. Faith is believing in the unknown and the not yet. And that's what we do as coaches, because who's to say that in 5 years' time I'm going to be a millionaire top 10 Beachbody coach? Well, I am. Right? Because I believe that this will happen before I see it happening. And I know if I set myself up for success by going backwards by design with my goals and figuring out what do I need to do this month so that I'm on track for this year? What do I need to do this week so I'm on track for this month? What do I need to do this day so I'm on track for this week, so I'm on track for this month, so I'm on track for this year, so I'm on track with my 5-year goal, right? When you go backwards by design and you really cut it down and dissect it to those focused, this is the one thing that I'm reading, so it's really coming out right now. But when you really get focused on what you should be doing, it makes that belief so much more palpable and so much more real for you and easier to, I guess, dive into. So I know for myself, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, it actually took me a little while to believe in myself as a coach. I was actually kind of embarrassed at first when people would ask me what I did, and I was like, I'm a Beachbody coach. I don't really know how to explain what I do, but it is super awesome, and I do it online. And for whatever reason, because our job is online and network marketing is not really known, and like e-commerce and stuff is kind of, people aren't really sure about certain things, and there are a lot of shitty modalities out there, right? But because it's not as well known and it's non-traditional, there's a lot of people that speak out against it. And so it makes you feel like, oh, I'm not really sure if I want to tell people what I do. So for the little while when I was a coach, I actually like thought that way. I was like, I don't really know. I know it's not peer media. I know it's not scammy. I know it's helping me, but I didn't really know how to voice that. You need to practice how you say what you do. You just have to practice. And how do you practice? You tell people what you do constantly, over and over and over again. It took me almost these last 2 years, probably almost the full 2 years, to feel totally competent and confident in myself, going into any room and somebody asking me what I do, boom, I will tell you what I do, and I know I can change your life, right? But I can only say that with conviction now because I've helped so many people and because I've dedicated myself every single day to that belief in what I'm doing, in the programs and products I'm using, in the services that I can provide with my groups. And so it's this whole mix of running a group every month, hitting Success Club every month, you know, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and doing coach calls and all those different behaviors. If you're not doing those things, you're not going to build that self-belief, and you're not going to build that confidence that you need, that muscle that you need to show people that you are capable of leading them. That's really, really important, right? It's one thing to watch it and to want it and to watch videos and trainings and make notes and all this stuff, but it's a whole other animal to play ball and to put it into action. And when you put it into action, that is where the magic happens, right? Okay, where am I? going here. I already talked about you have to believe it before you see it, right? You're going to stumble. We all do. We're all going to stumble forward. We're all going to fail forward. That is the most beautiful part about this. It's actually such a blessing in disguise, because as you're stumbling forward, you grow, right? And Tony Robbins always says that the secret to happiness is progress. And I post about that quite a bit. It's so true. If you are not progressing to some kind of goal, you are not moving towards happiness. When you're stagnant, standing still, you're actually regressing, right? You're dying, I guess, technically, if you want to get morbid. But if we are making progress, we are happy in any capacity. Just think about your fitness journey. When you can do 15 push-ups instead of 8, when you can lift 20 pounds instead of 15, right? When you can make it up the stairs without going out of breath, and whatever, like any kind of small incremental goals, they all matter, and they all help build that muscle. Okay. My next point I wanted to talk about was stop apologizing for pursuing something awesome, right? And I was guilty about this too when I first started, I guess. People would be like, nah, I'm good. I'm a personal trainer. I already know everything. And I'm just like, oh my God, you're actually just a personal trainer. You literally just know about exercise that you've been taught. Like, that's it. Most of the time your nutrition information is totally bunk. But anyways, I would get apologetic. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, I don't know. And now if somebody comes to me and they're like, actually, I'm a personal trainer, I don't need your groups. I'm like, oh my God, girl, this would go hand in hand with what you have to offer. You could totally twofold help your clients with all natural supplements and an online option for your clients instead of just at the gym, like 3 hours a week. And they're like, oh, I never really thought about that. And it's just, you have to help people and put it into perspective what you have available. But that's not apologizing for what you're doing and not apologizing for doing something awesome. And same thing, if somebody comes at you and they say, like, I don't need what you're doing, and they get a little bit, defensive or anything, or they try to give you objections, instead of getting defensive, I have found that the best way to deal with objections and to keep my own sanity and confidence is to just lead by example. Like with my family, with my friends, those are oftentimes the people that are going to come out hard against you. I don't know what that is, like animalistic tendencies really, but those are the people that come out against you. And I've just learned that you have to lead by example, and they will either come around or they won't. And same thing with the people on social media that you're inviting. If those people give you objections about time or money or whatever the hell objections people give these days, I've had some really crazy ones lately, I just say, you know what? Here's my answer to your objection. Short. Here's my answer to your objection. This is actually what it is, not what you think it is. The door is open. If you're ready in a few months, I'll check back in with you. If not, no worries. See ya. Like, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next, right? That's seriously my mantra as a coach. It's just on to the next person who I know that I can help. Okay. Next point I've got here. Oh, this is a big one. Okay. Stop letting fear drive you. And we are all so guilty of this. I am the first person to be guilty of this. I will have days where I feel like I am on top of the world, and I will have days where I feel like I am carrying the world on my shoulders and I just crumble, and that fluctuation, that wave, it's going to happen. Right? Roz knows I'm obsessed with moons and waves these days, but it's so true. The ebb and flow is natural and it's going to happen regardless. So resisting it is just stupid, actually. So we need to learn how to ride it, so long as we don't go too high and too low, right? So long as you're somewhere around the middle. But that comes back to this point about stop letting fear drive you, because when you let fear drive you, it's so easy to spiral down into this like small, I can't even make my shoulders small because they're huge from Body Beast right now. But this like spiraling down into this like small person, and you are so much bigger than that. You need to expand and take up space and let your message be heard, right? So stop letting fear take the driving wheel and take accountability. Back to that first point that I said, you got to take accountability for your business and for your life. So just like that graph that I said, the person that just coasts and expects success to come, and the person that takes accountable, over time, that accountability is going to take you to your success. But if you just coast, you're going to keep hitting this, or you're even going to get tired of riding that wave and hitting that ceiling and dropping down again. So ask yourself the questions, right? Are you hosting coach calls? Are you hitting Success Club 5 at least every month? Are you hosting a group every single month, right? Are you committed to your own health and fitness journey with a program, Shaco, a PD book / podcast every single day? These are all the behaviors that you do. This is your job. Your job is to be the best version of yourself and to post about that and invite other people to participate in that. That's so beautiful. But if you're not doing those behaviors, you're not going to see success, And so when I post in the coach group about Okay, guys, like who's hitting Success Club this month? It's so vital, right? Last month for me was so hard to hit Success Club 10. Like I can't even tell you, I busted my ass and I probably invited about 300 people. It was so difficult for me to hit Success Club 10, and I ended the month on March 31st with Success Club 12. And now this week, I have all these conversations of people trailing in, but it only happened because I pushed myself to get uncomfortable. I pushed myself to expand my reach. I pushed myself to invite people that I maybe otherwise wouldn't have invited. And I stopped letting fear drive, because as soon as you let fear drive, you get small and you doubt yourself, and self-doubt is the killer of all things. So yeah, that's what I want to say about that. Let's see if I have anything else good for you guys, and then we can just have a convo and then finish. Oh yeah, okay, I wanted to really quickly talk, sorry, my notes are all over the place. So I kind of talked about backwards by design here, but I'll just break that down really quickly. I have 2 more things I want to say and then I'll be done, promise. So backwards by design, I don't know if you guys have used this before, but basically how it works is, and we were taught this in education, this is kind of how like you plan a year of curriculum and stuff. If you want to work backwards by design, you take the outcome that you want and you work backwards to the start. So basically if you work backwards to the start, you know where you need to go every single day so that the process equals the outcome, right? So for example, if I want to hit every single month, if my goal is, and yours could be different, if my goal every single month is Success Club 20 and 5 new coaches on our team, which it is, those are my goals, okay? Every single month I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit Success Club 20 and I'm going to recruit 5 new coaches. Half of them can be discount coaches and at least 2 of them will be business builders. That's my goal. If I want that, I know that I then need to send out 200 invites in the month to challenge groups. Okay, so that's about 50 a week. So I break that down into Monday and Tuesday, about 25 on Monday, 25 on Tuesday. Some weeks it doesn't work out. So for example, this week I did 25 today and I'll do 25 tomorrow on Wednesday. Okay, I need to invite about 30 to 40 people to coach per week. Has that been happening? Not every week, but also my numbers are showing that it hasn't been happening because I only recruited, I think, 4 people in the last month or so. Anyways, so I didn't hit my goal because I didn't do the numbers. Okay, so you have to figure out where your end goal wants to be, what your outcome is, and then focus on the process, because as soon as you start focusing on the outcome, you're going to psych yourself out and you are not going to hit those goals. But if you break that down backwards by design, you break down those goals into those daily, weekly, monthly goals, and you work at that every single day. Now that I know how specific and focused my daily goals are, I can look up at my chart. I'm going to show you guys really quick just to show you what I'm talking about here so I don't look like I'm crazy. Okay, so this is my month list that I showed you guys before. So every single week I have my exact behaviors that I need to be doing. So I know you probably couldn't read it from there, so I'll just tell you. For example, this week, okay? For example, this week I have 50 new invites. 15 coach invites, Monday morning loving email sent out, host a team call tonight, April 4th. I get to check that off. April 7th, go live in the Diamond Push group, blog 2 times, go live 5 times. Those are my goals for this week. And I know that if I do all those things this week, I will be on track for my month end goal. And then the next week I have some specific things. You know, I'm hosting the April 20th What is Coaching webinar. So then the week before, I'm going to advertise that. So I just make myself little notes so that I'm organized, and I do it that way in transcending order so that I can see the whole month kind of on one page, but you can do it however you want to do it, however is organized for you. Does that make sense? Am I rambling now? Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about is, okay, and actually this goes in with that last topic of backwards by design, is just enjoying the process, right? And being so okay with where you're at while you're working on where you want to be. And I say this for fitness, I say this for nutrition, I say this for mindset, I say it for your business, I say it for your relationships. It is applicable all across the board, right? You have to be content with this moment because this moment is your life. You have to be okay with where you're at right now while you're working towards where you want to be. If you resist this moment and if you resist what's happening right now, it's just going to put up negative juju, bad energy, you know, and it's not going to make you blossom and it's not going to make you grow into who you need to be to hit those goals. So be okay with where you're at. Be okay if you have 5 pounds to lose. Be okay if you can't quite do 25 push-ups. Be okay if your income is not yet $500 or $1,000 a week or whatever your goal is. Be okay if you're sitting at Emerald and you're gunning for Diamond and you really want to hit it, right? Just be okay with it so long as you are doing the daily behaviors that you know you need to do, which you figure out by doing the backwards by design activity there. So set big goals, but be happy with where you're at, pretty much is what I'm trying to say there. And I think that's all I'm going to say, probably. I think that's all I want to say. Pretty much just shift your mindset, because self-belief, I would argue, and this is why I think PD is the number one vital behavior, right? Like PD, invite, proof of the product, recognize coaches. I would argue that PD is the most important, because we all know that your mental state and your mental health, it affects everything else, right? If you're not feeling you one day, you're not going to do invites. You're not going to get your workout in. You're probably going to eat through drive-through, right? You're not going to do all these other things that you know are going to fuel your life forward and propel you forward. So PD, man, dive into PD. I was listening to Chris Harder's new podcast, like Lori Harder's husband, and he has one about money. And he was talking about one of the craziest and best things he ever did for himself was read 30 books in 30 days. He actually took it off work and read 30 books in 30 days. And he said he did not expect it to be as physically draining as it was. It was like a full-time physical thing. He was getting like sores and his muscles were aching and he got like crazy headaches in his eyes and stuff, but he pushed through and he read 30 books in 30 days. And he said at the end of the 30 days, he was so empowered and felt so amazing from having accomplished that thing. But before he did that challenge, he hadn't even read a full book in his adult life. So that just shows you, like, you can set your mind to anything you friggin' want to do, but you have to have self-belief. You have to know it in your head and your heart that you are going to accomplish it no matter what obstacles come up, because the obstacles are going to come up. That's just life, you know, but it's what you're going to do in the face of them that counts. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I'm sorry if that was more of a tangent. I'm going to unmute you guys. And I don't know, let's just open it up for a couple comments, questions, etc. for the next couple minutes, and we can wrap up. I guess I went a little longer than I thought I was going to, but I don't know. Do you guys have any comments or questions about that topic or like personal experience?
Yeah, I do. I can think back to the fall when my face really started to notice my weight loss, and I was mostly at work, and people, like, I'm in scrubs, so they don't necessarily notice the weight loss there. And next thing I know, I had, you know, doctors and stuff saying that my face was like really skinny and almost like I had lost too much weight. And like, Roz can vouch for this, because I was like, you'd never believe, you know, what this guy said or that guy said. And
yeah.
For a long time, so there's kind of 2 points of it. One was knowing that what I was doing was healthy. There was nothing to be ashamed of there. And I mentioned that to him, and I had a guy, one of them mentioned the BMI, and I actually worked it out, and I was still obese, and I told him that and was like, dude, like, I know what I'm doing is okay. Like, I'm not taking an unhealthy route to it. It's safe, sustainable weight loss. But it took me a long time to build that confidence. And even then I would say, oh, these like at-home workouts, you know, short 30-minute, you know, that's about it. Like, I was sort of like a mouse about what I wanted to say. And even when I started drinking Shakeology for the first 2 weeks, I hid it in different shaker cups because I didn't want to jump on that train, right? And then you just come so far in building your confidence with educating yourself about the product and knowing that what you've got to offer, just like you said, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Like, I am a firm believer in that, Marie, and that's okay. And I've had lots of conversations this week because I took 10 people yesterday who were price objections. I had made my list. I went through and hammered out these messages, and now they're trickling back into who, you know, is, oh, my husband just got laid off here, or this and this and here. And you just approach it with a small little message of, there's that coaching opportunity, or the deal's only on for the month. So if something picks up by the end of the month, I'm here for you, girl. My door is always open. I love that. I'm going to add that to my messages for sure. Because that's that follow-up to show them you care. And that's really what it comes down to. And building that confidence allows you to care, you know, to show that side of it.
Oh, massively. And you know what? I will speak to that also, the keeping the door open. I went through just with recently inviting and actually and re-inviting some people as well, because if you guys know, with the new Success Club point thing, you can actually gain points on people that have already joined you at some point. So if I haven't worked with somebody in months, I'm reaching out to some people because you actually can gain points from people that haven't purchased in 2017. I think I should probably double check that. But I've been reaching out and stuff. And if I go through and if I see a message that I sent to the person that they didn't respond to, I've been deleting that message. There's a new option in Facebook Messenger where you can delete that message, because I guarantee they don't remember getting it anyways if they didn't respond to it and they have not looked at that message thread. So I've been deleting it, and I will re-invite that person. And like 8 out of 10 times they've responded and been like, wow, thank you so much for remembering me and thinking about me again. And I'm like, just needed to delete the message, send you a new one. Like, that's all it took. Pardon?
It deletes on theirs too?
It deletes it. I'm sure it does.
On just yours or theirs?
Oh, I'm hoping it deletes it from the thread. I'm sure it deletes it from
whatever.
there.
It's still whatever. It's
Let's test it. Go delete one of our messages. Send me a message and then I'll see it and then delete it. But I'm sure that it deletes it because I can't see it in the thread, so I'm hoping that they don't see it. Anyways, regardless, I've gotten a good response from that. And also what it's made me realize though is some of the messages that I've sent, and I'm human, so it's going to happen to all of us, right? A couple of the messages I've sent, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would have liked to receive that one. You know, if I was being a little bit pushy, or if I was like, okay, girl, come on, like you could, you know, if I was being if I had any agenda, I could feel it when I was reading it. I was like, God, that is not what I am about. That is not what I try to do in my messages. But sometimes it comes out, you know, if it's the end of the month or if you're frustrated one day or tired or something and you're like, got to get my messages out, you know? And so I'm really, really being conscientious about every single message I send and being very, hey, I am here for you if you want this. And when I send my message, I'm reading it and I'm thinking, okay, if I receive this message, how would I feel? I'd feel pretty great. Okay, sweet, send. And I've been doing that every message, you know, just like straight up 10 commandments. Here you go. How do you want to be treated? Do that to other people. So that's my other tip on that one. Yeah, but I don't know. The confidence thing, like, it's a muscle, right? And even, Megan, I'm totally going to pick you out right now because I have so noticed in your posts, I've noticed in lots of our coaches' posts on our team, which is badass, and I really like seeing it. But I've seen with your posts too, especially with tagging your text pictures with @MeganKeen and putting out like your funny, quirky ones with the specific, and you're branding yourself, right? Which is really beautiful. And that takes confidence. That is the confidence muscle. And you didn't do, we know, right? That wasn't a thing for the first little while. And oops, stay with free. And I just think that that's so cool because you start to express yourself and you start to care less about the potential for judgment, right? Because it's always just potential. It's half the time and more than half the time not even true. But you start to care less about the potential judgment and you start to care less about what people might be thinking, and you just do it and you just be you. Like half the time with my posts now, or most of the time I guess, I just put it up and I'm like, man, I actually am just doing this. Like I'm just putting this post up because I need to hear this today. This is advice that I need to hear. So I'm going to type this up and put it out there because if I need to hear it, I know somebody else needs to hear it, you know? And those are the posts that people resonate with the most. So anyways, what I'm trying to say, Megan, is good on you. I love to see that you're becoming more confident and stuff, you know? So yeah.
I agree, Megan. Good job.
Yeah. Teammate.
I've even saved one of yours and used it because you take credit for it yourself. So I love that. It's like a shout out.
That's awesome. Oh, what did you say? Home is so nice, noisy. Oh, you're so cute. Saying the brain wasn't a muscle? Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus, you should really help her out. Okay, I'm going to end this. Sorry, there are some people out there, though. Anyways. I like almost got into it with this like student nurse. You guys would appreciate this. There's a student nurse that came to present to my class the other day on mental health. And I am such an advocate, we all know, for mental health, having dealt with some stuff and being a supporter of people that deal with it. And some of the things he was saying with like the language he was using, including like disease and disorder and all these things, I was like, dude, you were like getting mad at kids for like thinking taboo things and not using the proper language for these conditions and syndromes even, or states of mind. Like even for some, you know, he was calling like depression and anxiety a disease. And I was like, that is going to make people not respond positively. And then anyway, so I was talking about how exercise is the most underused antidepressant. And he was like, oh yeah, I probably should have put that in the slideshow. I'm like, yeah, you probably should have put that in before you go see your physician and get protective pills after every single slide. Anyways, we had it up for a second. I almost fought him, but anyways.
Room, and I think that that's a big part of my why is the fact that I see too many 30-year-olds, even younger. I see buff, good-looking kids that are 20, 22, 24, and are you on any meds? First question at triage, and 9 times out of 10 it's Paxil or it's something like that, and you're just like, oh my god, like, and you're going to the gym, like, you need to get your head on straight. You need to read a PD book. You don't need that pill popping.
No, and you know what? And I'm such an advocate. Like, there is a time and a place when people need medication, absolutely.
Totally.
But it is so overprescribed, and we know this. Like, antibiotics, look at, anyways, that's a whole other conversation. But it is so overprescribed, and doctors are so quick to go, Pharma D, here you go. Instead of, hey, you need to put in the work. You need to read a book that's going to fuel your mind. You need to put in some exercise time. You need to drink more water, and you need to eat less drive-through. Like, it's just, people need to do the work. And so that's why we're here to educate. So that is why, my friends, you need to believe in yourself, because what we have to offer is truly life-changing. So, yeah. Mic drop on that one. Okay, I'm going to end the call because I actually could talk to you guys forever. But yes, stay tuned for some barbecue planning action, because that's going to go down. And Super Saturdays in Saskatoon next weekend, I think. My calendar has been like all over the place, so I'm going to check that event really quickly. Do you know what time did it say it's at?
I think it's this week.
I haven't looked.
In the morning, or are you pulling it up, Megan?
And I think it's like 2 or something.
Oh, is it in the afternoon? Okay.
The sooner the dates for the barbecue, the better. The shift worker needs time, if possible, especially because I'm there.
Say it again. The what?
I said a date for potential barbecues helps me plan because I don't live there, and I'm
Yes, I so appreciate the planning and organization. I'm just not planned or organized yet because teaching has taken over some things. So it's actually incredible that I showed up tonight, because really I have not been okay. No, I'm just joking. I'm fine. I'm just dealing. Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but yes. I'm just saying I'm like a Tasmanian devil and just like, what's going on?
This weekend on Saturday. I think
Saturday. It's this weekend on Saturday. Yeah, the 8th. And what time? In the afternoon, probably for 2 hours, or?
I wish I could come, but I told myself this weekend was absolute taxes. I have to do my taxes.
Get her done.
Get her done. It feels good. I did it last weekend.
So I would love to come, and I would normally come if I hadn't. I need to.
Don't worry. That's understandable. I'll see if I can get
taxes are a pain in the butt.
I know. Yeah, I did mine last weekend. We started at 8:30 and we're done by noon, and I was just like, we done.
Except I've never done it before, so I'm nerve-wracked. I'm nervous. And,
don't be. You'll be good. Watch that video that I put up, Sandy. That'll help.
Which one? The one I watched?
Oh, yeah, probably, because you probably commented on it.
Spreadsheet or whatever?
Yes, because those are the categories that you can use.
I have to go and add it all up now, and I like that I saw that other Excel, because now I'm going to make that document. So I have all of my receipts listed, and now I just need to move them into categories, because I didn't realize they needed to be categories. They're in month.
Right. And don't worry about, for your accountant, don't worry about putting like what it is. So like, don't worry about putting like Shaco 136. Just put the number 136 in one of the lines under supplies. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So they just need the numbers, and you just need to have the receipts to back yourself up should you get audited for some reason.
Well, there's a receipt with that amount, because my brother was like, you should have the receipt numbers written down, and I was like, really?
No.
Oh god, no.
No.
I literally before I did Beachbody doing contract stuff with the mines, I literally add everything up, and then I break it down from whatever it's broken down on the tax, whatever my last income tax return I got or whatever. And it's broken up into categories, and there's business supplies or office supplies, and then there's whatever else. And I add everything up, all the receipts. I always keep the receipts that I write off, but I make totals. So for Shaco, I did Shaco times 12, done. Put that total in, and I didn't even put Shakeology. A double-sided sheet of all the categories to be able, and my brother was giving me all kinds of ideas of different things that I could write off, equipment previously that I'm now using,
it's like, well, I invested then, it's my money. And he's like, write it all down. She'll tell you if you can't deduct it.
If you can or can't. Yeah.
One way.
Yeah, I think it's, you can only deduct things that you buy while as a coach, right? So like I can't write off my old MacBook Pro because I didn't buy it when I was a coach, but I can write off 12% of my house because I use 12% of my house as an office. I can write off my entire
I
phone.
don't know how to work out that square footage. I don't know if I should email her or figure out.
I can get Brandon to give me the formula because he's the one that figured that out for us, so I can post it in the
That
group.
would be awesome. That was one of the things I was really worried about. That would be great.
I'll just write that down so I don't forget. Okay, are there any other, I don't know, questions or random comments?
No.
I don't know if that help. Like everybody's on their own journey, so it's hard to be like, believe in yourself.
No,
but
it helps.
But believe in yourself.
It's applicable to anybody's. That's not like a specific like it's not specific to just your journey. Like we all need to like get over fear. We all need to be like accountable for our shit.
I think depending on where we are in our journey, we hear from what you're saying. We take what you're saying
and apply.
Take it different than Rosalind will take it different than Megan will take it different because we're all in different places and need to hear different things. So our minds automatically absorb it in the context that we need to absorb it. So it's perfect and we appreciate your time.
Sure. I appreciate your time. I love all you. Okay, I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube and I'm gonna post it in the group. It's telling me I have less than a minute and I do not want to get cut off. So
Megan and Rebecca, don't forget to look at the beginning of the video. We shared a few different books.
Oh yeah, that's true. Some good ones. Okay, I love you all and I hope you have the best Tuesday night and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.